Greetings and welcome to your Mindfulness Mastery podcast. I am your host and trusted guide, Tawnya Love. I am an intuitive, shamanic, angelic wayshower, healer, light worker, and author. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this podcast. To schedule any one-on-one sessions or group healing events, you can visit and book your sessions on my divinely inspired website at mindfulnessmastery888.com. Thank you so much for your presence and for your support. Now sit back, relax, and open yourself to receive. Hi everyone, welcome to Mindfulness Mastery 888. Real, raw, and truthful. I am Tawnya Love, and I am here with my co-host Cindy Campbell.
Hello everyone.
We are coming back to continue this series that I kind of playfully titled The Courage for Everyone to Receive Angelic Auric Clearing Assistance, because it's truly something that I feel from the perspective that I've been in as far as help souls heal for many, many years, is that it takes great courage. We need to have a curiosity, and we need to move in courage to heal things that we've been hiding in shadow. So, we've done some series talking about shadow work and the importance of that, but understanding when we've gotten ourselves so far on our own, but we actually would benefit from help from another.
Yes.
And then understanding the discernment, and trust me, I, of all people, get the discernment of who to trust with that. Because when you're someone who has been harmed or abused or gone through things mentally, physically, psychologically, you might be like, who do I trust?
Yeah.
And sadly, I've shared with Cindy, I've had some experiences when I jokingly call it, came out of the angel closet in 2012, and I started helping the world. I think I was kind of playing with this from like 2010. But I officially left my marriage, full on gave myself to light, walked with nothing, didn't have money, no job, nothing. I was just like, okay, what are we doing, spirit? And I was guided, this is what you're going to be doing. You've done this on other timelines. You've done it from planets. This is no big deal to do it from here to Minnesota. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so energetically, that's when all that kind of ignited for me. But I feel it takes a lot of courage to come back towards the light when you have been through things. And I do encourage people to, kind of pray and get yourself aligned with spirit, get yourself in a peaceful place when you ask to be guided. Because I've had some clients that told me, and this is awful, I really don't like hearing these stories, but there's, as much as there's beautiful souls here, like my own, that are here helping empower and liberate souls, there are also humans here in disguise pretending to be those kind of souls that are actually here to find out who's vulnerable and then take advantage of it and mess with you or get you to join their cult or whatever. And so you've got to be very discerning. It's just part of the truth of this dimension.
And I think even some people are harming, they're not maliciously. Some people are malicious.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah, not a lot.
Some are very blatant, and then others are very covert.
Yes. And I think some people think they're helping.
Yeah. But they haven't faced their own shadow yet.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. There are those that call themselves healers that I've met in the past where it was pretty quick that spirit and I discerned their intentions. But what's sad is when you put yourself in a position where you're like, I'm fine, I've done my work, I don't need anything, no one can tell me. It doesn't matter what costume you're wearing, whether you're wearing a shamanic skirt or a CEO suit, you're still in your own fucking prison that you've created for yourself.
Yeah.
And there's no way to get out of it when you deny that you're even in one. So I think a big part of healing is to recognize where we've put ourselves in a prison and where we've made ourselves uncomfortable with some kind of entrapped kind of mental concept or whatever it is, right? If we're like, oh, no one can tell me, like, no one, I'm perfect. I am a mindfulness master. You know who I'm talking about on that one. But we can have these things that we do, and really, it doesn't serve us. It just enslaves us.
Right.
So I feel a huge part of like auric clearings are, at least from the way Spirit and I assist with them, because I'm not sure, there might be other people saying they're doing this and it may not be what we're doing. So I'm just going to put that out there. But energetically, in like a shamanic perspective, we're helping tune into humans at a soul level, understanding their patterns, understanding different timelines. My guides might show me things that they've gone through on this timeline, or they might jump to other timelines, but it'll always be relevant to something going on in this one. Mm-hmm. It's not, just to entertain you and like, oh, wow, look at all the things you've been. It's more like, what about that timeline are you still carrying in yourself or holding yourself hostage to? Or what in that timeline is wanting to awaken in you? Like maybe it's a gift or a power, a potential that you already embraced that could wake up in this one if you connected with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with auric clearings, it's clearing away trauma and heavy energy, and it's also activating your DNA in a very multi-dimensional way, not in a physical way. If you go look at your DNA, you're going to still see your 2-strand DNA, is what my guides say. But energetically, at a spiritual perspective of it, it's going to activate all these light codes that are there in a higher dimensional space that isn't what the physical eye will see, but you will suddenly have more gifts and access to spirit in a way that humans that are not online will not have.
Yeah.
So like when I call it like, if they're not online, it's kind of like someone in shadow frequency that's very closed off at their crown chakra, third eye's shut down, their throat chakra shut down. They can't access these higher parts of spirit. So they're just kind of surviving in lower chakra energy. Mm-hmm. And that is the way a lot of humans are doing it here. But that's not the way it was intended to be. That's not the highest empowered state of that human's possibility.
Yeah.
Like their potential.
Yeah.
So like there's a movie I really love called Lucy. It's a little bit, harsh and intense, and as far as like she has drugs put in her and she's got to take them, and it's kind of freaky in that way. But the drugs opening in her system makes all these gifts come online for her, and she becomes very tuned in, very psychic, very like she can do all these things, has all these gifts. The potential, the way they show that in that film connected to drugs is like not the way Spirit's hoping we'll do it, but it gave a visual of understanding like the journey of an ascending soul, and that the more online and empowered they are, the more access to gifts they have. And so you'll suddenly be able to have different abilities that are heightened, right? And so, and Cindy, you could speak because you've had auric clearings. Can you think back, and maybe not, but can you kind of think back or describe like the very first time you met me and had your first auric clearing to now, in things you've observed shift in your own, and because she's been getting auric clearings for years.
Yes.
And doing soul coaching with me for years.
Yes.
So can you give a little explanation of like what it was like in the beginning and to now? Like how you feel you've evolved?
I have definitely like much more stepped into my power. Like looking back when I very first started, I probably was not, I don't think I was using my intuition at all.
You're like, what's that?
I know. I was maybe getting stuff, but like I didn't trust it. I was trusting other people instead of myself.
The outer noise.
Yes. And I was really just kind of like taking the next step in my like spiritual path, I guess we'll call it. And wanting to explore more and like get to know spirit and like how to trust and
Mm-hmm.
how to listen and like all the things.
Yes.
But like I have evolved immensely. Like I was back then probably doing and saying whatever my friends or my family wanted me to do and
Mm-hmm.
not really having like an opinion, or if I did, I wasn't speaking it, or
Yeah.
it was just like, oh, you want me to do this? You want me to be this?
Blocked throat chakra in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, I can do that.
Hey, could you help me with this? And you're like, okay. It's
Okay.
like, no, that's a no. Now that she's worked with me for years, if you get a what's the answer, Cindy?
No.
That's a fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a oh God, that's a no. That's a big
Yes.
strong no.
Yes.
And we're learning that we have the right to say that.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes. And just like getting more comfortable with like speaking up for myself and like becoming aware of what I want and what my needs are.
Yes.
And it has been phases and cyclical at times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
this is the way it seems to be.
yes. Yes. But it's definitely way, way, way better
Yeah.
than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you feel like I don't want to say you're better, but do you feel you're more empowered, more aware
Yes.
than you used to be?
Definitely. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Way more aware. Definitely more aware.
Mm-hmm. More psychic, more aware,
Yes.
more trusting.
Yes. More trusting. Trust my gifts more. I can actually feel energy now. And maybe I was feeling it back then, but I didn't really know what it was. But I can like legitimately feel like,
Yeah.
I can feel like solar flares now. I can feel, solar
Yes.
energy. I can feel like when you're doing the clearing, I can
Yes.
feel you in my energy field in the different parts of my body.
Yes. Yeah, she often can tell where I'm working at.
Yes.
That's amazing and
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That shows that your sensitivity is growing and heightening.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some clients in the very beginning where they just fall asleep, and that's pretty
Yeah.
normal. Like they
Yeah.
just, it's like their ego just shuts them off, like,
Yeah.
and we take them to a higher dimensional space and we're doing the work. But I have had some, like a little child, a couple little children. I've different like people, because there's been so many, but some that immediately are just like, they're talking to me during either telepathically or out loud. They're getting visions. So there's some that are already very open.
Yeah.
And then there's some that there's a journey of that. But what's beautiful is every experience is exactly what it needs to be. And I feel like the key is staying with it, though, doing that work when you know you really are being guided to.
Yeah.
Listening to that instead of like, oh, like I think Cindy has said to me, like, you're much better with this now, but like where there's times where you're frustrated like with yourself, like, why can't I do this for myself? Can you? It is possible. I will say that. Is everyone meant to do it for themselves immediately? Maybe not.
I don't think so.
That's why there's souls like mine here. I mean, it's kind of like, could you do the plumbing in your house that you're building? You could. Do you want to? Do you have the skill set?
Right.
Do you have the mastery of it? If you don't, you could go and learn all about it and then do your own plumbing. Absolutely something you could do.
And then the shit water can come right back up the drain.
Yes. But does that make sense? You're like, oh God, I did not plumb that correctly.
Oh shit.
That's a great metaphor actually for an auric clearing.
Yeah, yes.
But that's what Spirit just brought me. It's like you could, but if you know that there's someone that is their skill set, that is their mastery to assist with, you're benefited by asking and calling them to help you when your pipes are clogged.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the plumber's going to come in and handle that very quickly, whereas it might just be a nightmare. And it doesn't mean that you can't. And that's something I feel is so important, because no part of Spirit and I are here to make anyone codependent and think you can't do something. You can. But just like there's people with gifts and everything, if you're, a freaking amazing engineer, you're going to want that engineer to do the engineering work. If you're an incredible scientist, let that scientist do their mastery. So it's looking at healers that way as well, and seeing that there's gifted healers here to assist you in helping you with something that is needed
Yes.
in a very physical, spiritual, emotional way, but not think you're inadequate because you're needing their help.
Right.
And I think there's, for some reason, I don't know why there's so much ego that gets stimulated in that, in the realms of self-healing.
Yes.
But there really is.
Yes.
Because you don't feel guilty at all to call the plumber to help you, or to call the trash guy to come and schedule a pickup for your trash. Like, there's jobs people do.
Yes.
Right?
And I would definitely, like, I've gotten better, but sometimes I was really like white knuckling it. And then I'd be like, oh my God.
Okay, it's
I
time.
need help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like the reason Spirit's bringing that through right now is to help people realize you're not failing if you are asking for help.
Yeah.
And the helpers are there because that's their gift, is to help and assist you. And part of that can be so supportive to have a trusted healer helping you through a healing experience than to do on your own when you're not sure how to process certain things, or how do I want to put it? It's like just having, like, sometimes just even talk therapy can be so beneficial for people, just to go and, like I was telling Cindy after I released a really toxic relationship a year ago, I feel like I'm very self-aware woman, and I'm like, I feel like I have PTSD from this fucking creature that's been tormenting me in my home for a year and a half. And like, what do I do about that? And I'm a healer, and I knew the things I could do for myself, but I also felt like, I feel like I need to go to counseling and talk this through.
Yeah.
And I went, and they did not have a therapist. It was like I think it was like a sit-in person helping out or something. That I don't even understand what it was, but things happen for a reason.
Yep.
And I just would speak on what I was going through, how I was processing it. And the woman's like, oh, wow, okay, that's amazing. Okay, so do you feel like you want to kill yourself? And think she'd ask me these very, like, every time we had a session. And I think it's the system in the medical world must think this is helpful. Like, every time you have this, like, robotic paper that you go through and you ask them questions. But I'll just say, as a healer, it seems really fucking crazy and weird, and kind of like you're waiting for me to kill myself. I'm just going to say, like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
That's
but
weird.
Energetically, I think what it is, when I'm tuning in, is it's basically them having a protocol to cover their own asses. Like, okay, we asked them all the questions. Okay, now, what did you want to talk about? And so I'm kind of off track for a second, but that is a funny thing I noticed. That I'm like, I'm not ever planning on killing myself. If you want to just write that every single time, just write it down. But I get where they're going, because they probably do have very, like, maybe more mental health issues or whatever. But my point is when I went and I'm talking to the lady, it was helping me move through things and just express what I was moving through. And I was basically helping myself through doing that talk therapy. Like, I'm like, actually, I really do know what I'm doing. I do know what to do. And so things that I'm sharing on this podcast, like somatic breathwork and meditation and different tools, having an auric clearing, things that I specialize in, a book I wrote that, Universal Trust Fund Baby, is really helping people, like a tool to the healing. Like with Cindy coming and doing healing for years, and then she has that book and we do podcasts together. Like, it's all really there as pieces to help.
Yeah.
But energetically, I feel like the reason auric clearings are so powerful, and therapy's got its place. It definitely has its place.
Yes.
But I have had so many people say having an auric clearing is like 10 years of therapy. And the reason I feel they feel that way is that they are being taken really deeply into the soul understanding of themselves, and energetics are being released and cleared. Entities, attachments, things that their conscious mind doesn't even want to know about are being cleared, and then energetics are being activated. Energy centers are being opened and balanced, and suddenly they feel plugged in online, more aware. That is very powerful. And so this healing work is very powerful. I genuinely feel every soul on this planet would benefit from auric clearing assistance.
Oh, gosh,
Every
yes.
single soul.
Yes.
Because every single soul is connected to source, but not every single soul is living as they are,
Right.
is living in that powerful truth of, I am so sovereign unto myself, and I am so one with source God and plugged in and aware. That is a different thing that I feel is where humanity is headed.
Yes.
Is to live in that kind of sovereignty and yet unified consciousness where we are connected, where we are also plugged in individually and collectively, but we're not attacking ourselves or other.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, auric clearings are very powerful, and so is therapy. But getting help, back to what we were talking about, is asking for help. There is nothing shameful about that. I feel like a lot of us have been taught that we need, especially if we've been through trauma. Like, we're taught you better just do that shit yourself. Yeah. Whether it's said out loud, it's something we learn.
Right.
So it's kind of like you learn, like, you got to figure it out yourself. You're on your own. You better do it because no one's going to do it for you. And you kind of feel like if you ask for help that you're in some way failing or less than. And I really just want to address that, because the way Spirit and I see it, if you are coming to work with souls, a soul like mine and with us, you are in your courage. That takes courage. Mm-hmm. There is nothing weak about that. What's weak and easy is deflecting, projecting, blaming, shaming, pretending everyone else is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what you see rampantly happening on planet Earth right now.
Oh, yeah.
Is that energy in its pride and its arrogance and its wounded ego, pretending it doesn't need any help. And it's so obvious to us how much they need that help.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you want to say anything based on that? Like, you're not going to full source God or Tawnya Love because we're so watching. We're so present,
Yes. I just laugh at some of the times where it was like, where my ego has definitely tripped me up, and it was like, no, you can do this on your own. Right. And then it's like, and part of it's like, well, maybe we could try, like, let's see what we can do. And then it was like, nope, that's not going well.
Well, and the thing is, you can do things on your own.
Yeah.
But when you feel like, if you sense it's a wounded part of yourself saying, oh, you can just do this on your own, you don't need them, or, that could be something deeper inside trying to sabotage you from exactly the path that's helping you. And that could be like a covert kind of ambush of your alignment, right?
Yes.
Whereas if you realize, okay, I am really struggling, I'm doing this on my own, but I am like at war within my mind, and I can't remember what to do next. Or I feel like everything I'm doing, no matter what I'm doing, I'm hitting the ceiling, and I feel like there's a block, and like I can't hear my guidance. I feel like I'm struggling and I can't feel it or hear it. That is not a weakness. That is you knowing there is something interfering.
Yeah.
And that's where asking for help can. And you've had that happen. I remember times where you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like my crown just got blasted open again, and I can feel and I can hear and I'm plugged in again. But for a while you weren't.
Yeah.
And there was patterns, like things you were doing where you'd be working. Let's say Spirit and I are helping you go, this is, some of the stuff you need to address for your own empowerment and well-being. And you start going so far until you get to that place where you have to make a big decision. And that big decision means leap of faith. And then there could have been a pattern where you I'll just stay here and pretend I'm fine. And then go right back into the toxicity and then wonder why you're struggling again. Yeah. And then have shame because you know why. Right. Deep down you do.
Yes.
And so this is a pattern we have to see and not shame ourselves, but realize, man, I keep fucking sabotaging myself.
Yep.
Like, if I just stopped sabotaging and I keep trusting and moving this way, I'm going to feel more and more empowered.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I feel like there's sometimes patterns that can happen where it makes it even seem harder.
Yeah.
But it's more just a pattern that you're getting caught in.
Yep.
that then you can always self-correct.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
get back on the freeway. You went off into the ditch for a little bit, right? As humans,
a little bit there.
Yeah, if we're like freaking out and we go off the side of the road and then we wake up, oh shit, and we correct, get back on the freeway. It's understanding that. But eventually I feel higher self of all of us, our higher soul's alignment wants us to stop flying off the freeway in the first place. It wants us to learn how to quickly gauge when we're starting to lose that alignment so that we stay in that vortex of joy, abundance, health, happiness, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's really, we can become more finely tuned into that to where we can sense when we're losing that alignment. And that's ultimately what souls like mine are here to help teach and remind you of.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Anything you want to say in regards to that?
I was going to tell, I know like probably way, way, way back in the beginning, like there was something that you had removed from my field. And then
Like an entity?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then I remember it had creeped up like, I don't know, maybe a year after that or something. Or I had that similar feeling. And then it was like, oh, okay, now I know what this is.
Yes.
And
like
it was,
you could recognize that. I met this before.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And it was like, I remember like when there's something attached, like, or in my field, like sucking my energy out, I get super tired and then I'll get super cranky. And then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why am I?
You start saying you're more confused.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, nope, time to.
That's a beautiful way you described it,
Yeah.
to where you can tell if something's interfering with your natural state of being plugged inness.
Yes.
Because when you're really aligned and plugged in with source, and let's be honest, we're all plugged in all the time, but we're not always consciously and openly knowing we're plugged in. So we'll be operating in the illusion of disconnection.
Yeah.
That's the best clear way I can say it. Because in truth, we're all plugged in, even if we're pretending that we're not.
Yeah.
So when we pretend and we're the illusion of disconnection, that illusion of disconnection makes us feel more lost and confused, upset, angry, frustrated, tired. Because and I give that metaphor that when we're plugged in with source, it's like we have the oxygen mask on. So we're breathing, we're sucking in oxygen, we're feeling good.
Yeah.
But when we get out of that alignment, it's like we threw the mask off and we're floundering, we're suffocating, and we're wondering why. And we just got to put that fucking mask back on, get back in alignment. I mean, that's a very kind of simple metaphor, but it makes sense energetically.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so it's good that you can sense that. And that this is stuff like, as people listen, any of you as you're listening could, write in with questions, or if you are like, oh my gosh, everything they're describing, I really feel like I need an auric clearing.
Yeah.
You can always ask me on my website. I offer a complimentary consultation, just like where you can ask some questions and then we can go from there. So it's definitely, I can promise you only beautiful, good things will come of it.
Yes.
But I also can say that one thing I know from doing this work for as long as I have is that spirit always brings you exactly what you need. And sometimes people will think they're going to talk about a certain thing, and then I'll tune in and ask for guidance, and they'll be like, so they're showing me da 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 da, and then the person's like, oh shit, okay. And so then the session will go in a direction that really your higher self knows is the priority.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you need to face first. There's times that people have been shown very traumatic things that maybe they had suppressed memory on. I will warn you of that, but it will come up when you actually are capable of dealing with it. So sometimes I might have a client for years or months before something major is revealed.
Yeah.
Because of, I think sometimes maybe it's spirit just establishing this trust and helping them work through simple things as they get to a more core traumatic thing. But then I've had clients where second session, bam, we're getting into it. They were raped. This terrible thing happened. and we're addressing it. And so I really look at it as source and your higher self and your team, your soul team, they really know what's best for us, and they know what we can handle. Now, our ego, we need to get to a place where we can trust and not let our ego convince us we can't.
Right.
Because if we have our wounded ego come up and be like, I can't believe, like, I can't handle this, then that is what you will experience as a person who can't handle it.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that. So a lot of the coaching, the soul coaching, I think, is to help people really understand their own power, understand the power of their own beliefs and their own intentions and affirmations, and how much that guides the course of their life.
Yes.
So, understanding we're capable beings, no matter what we've been through, that we can handle it is really empowering. Instead of thinking, oh God, I can't handle facing that, which means you will stay the being that runs from facing that. And you'll manifest, sadly, you'll keep running to situations very similar that will recreate more and more of that trauma until you have the courage and I look at it as common sense, but courage, common sense, and the self-love to face it.
Yeah.
And then you'll realize, what the hell? Why was I running? Like,
oh my gosh.
Now I feel freedom. I feel like liberated and empowered. And all I had to do is really face this.
Yes.
And understand it, integrate it, and release all the remnants that aren't serving.
Yeah.
So I think we'll cut off on that. But I welcome you to write in with questions or go to my website if you want to contact me to schedule sessions. I don't have automated scheduling because I really feel such a guidance to have one-on-one interactions with humans. So, don't be afraid to call, ask questions, reach out, email, and then we'll get into it. I just think that is so much more personal. It just feels more personal and much more where I can tune in on them. They can tune in on me. There's a lot being shared through frequency. And this is something that we should be aware of collectively, of like so many businesses going towards AI and towards robotic, telephone conversations and all that. There's a lot being lost there in that human interaction. And so I'm a soul in my sacred rebellion that is going to keep doing it this way. So hopefully that explains why. And, I'm not here just to try to make money off people scheduling something and then not showing. I really am here to help people with their healing. And so let's have that soul conversation. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Again, reach out if you have questions, and we're going to end there. And I'm sure we'll be talking about auric clearings again at some point because I just let spirit tell me what to talk about. And so it'll probably come up again. But you all have a beautiful and blessed day. And remember, there's nothing weak about asking for help. That is courageous. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today to our most recent podcast of Mindfulness Mastery 888, The Real, Raw, and Truthful. For those who would like to book any one-on-one sessions, you can contact me at mindfulnessmastery888.com. A gentle warning on working in higher realms of consciousness. As you are listening to our podcast, you may feel or experience tingles, dizziness, or tiredness. This is your body giving you guidance that it needs to relax. It's not a bad thing, but we do encourage you to honor your body and get yourself in a position where you can relax and receive these codes of consciousness. I thank you for taking a moment to subscribe, like, share, and follow, and come back and check out our newest content. Have a blessed and peaceful day.